Tim Omlu goes over a tenth of a second fast.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Formula Trout League Premier Series. This is round 11 with the Lioneers Racing Challenger Split Canadian Grand Prix. We are currently following around Jace Merrick, who is second in the championship at the moment, and we'll be fighting to keep that second place because yeah, the championship was already sealed a few races ago, with Gibson taking the Drivers' Championship and Lioneers taking the Teams' Championship. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see Wilhelm's Merrick who comes out on top. I'm Alex Cochran. I'm joined here by Jack Smith, who will be commentating alongside. Yeah, obviously, Jack is very, very experienced in the world of sim racing, having won Sprint Series here. Not Premier Series here, I don't think, have you? But definitely a accomplished driver in sim racing, so we'll provide quite the insight into what's going on, I hope. Yeah, definitely. It's quite a short track this at Canada. The lap time is only about 1 minute 12 seconds. Well, not even that. 1 minute 8 seconds for some of the true fast guys. I know Jack Smith here popped on for some quick laps and set the fastest time overall, even though you're not racing. So. Oh, that's sorry to interrupt. James K just spins out one of the on the exit to the DRS straight there. Just keeps it going, but that's going to be his lap ruined. Yeah. Yeah, it's a tricky track to drive. I mean, obviously we're discussing you've done the laps, so there's a lot of accelerating while exiting, like turning out the corners, which is not every track is like that, and then some real slow acceleration zones, like this hairpin here. I think it's second, first gear almost, so it's a different track because I think the last time out was Suzuka and at South Africa, very, very, very high speed corners, flat out for some of them, little lift, little tap of the brakes, sixth, seventh gear. Here it's second, third gear for some of the corners. You can see here Merrick going through turn one. It's so slow on the exit. So we are right on board with him going into turn three. Clip as much as the curb as possible. This is one of the few high-speed corners on the track. The braking zone here for another slow corner. Sorry, Jack. Oh, Jace just runs wide there through one of the chicanes for the hairpin. Yeah, and you really do need to be careful on the throttle because obviously, as you say, if you spin the wheels up, you lose time in the race. It's going to ruin your tires, and you could even spin, which you don't want to do. Hopefully, you keep it under control. But yeah, I think they say a rear limited circuit in the biz, isn't it? You struggle with the rears of the car as opposed to the front. Yeah, I think it's also quite a unique corner in the whole calendar because it's not one of the most slow in, fast out corners because the straight leading up to it isn't the longest straight, but then you really do have to get that power down on the exit to not lose too much time. Obviously, you want to carry as much speed through the corner as opposed to really taking a late apex. But yeah, it's. I do like this track. We didn't have it last season. The last time we had it was season 7, I believe. So yeah, it's been missed. I'm not sure what times we'll be seeing in the Challenger split. Obviously, the grip is quite low now, and we have a Semaria here with a... Ooh, got one spins on the exit. Just keeps it out the wall. Quite impressive stuff. But, yeah, ruined his lap there. So, stays out of the way of the other cars on track. But, yeah, that's not a great place to spin. Going to take him quite a while before he can actually get going again. Scrapes the wall. I'd imagine so. Yeah, I'm not sure what lap times we'll see, as Merrick's gone fastest now, actually, with a 1:11.2. As I said, the grip isn't up to the max yet. I think we'll be about 5-6 minutes usually until the grip is truly at the point where we're going to be seeing those fast laps set. I think we'll probably see around a low 10, maybe even a high 9 here in Challenge Split from Merrick or Wilhelms, or maybe one of the other drivers. Obviously, I think it was, who was it? Sorry, I really should have paid attention. I can't remember who it was who took pole last week and 2 weeks ago in Challenger Split, but yeah, it's obviously could be anyone. Spencer Owens and Alexander Cron has been both showing quite impressive pace in practice and the last few rounds, so yeah, we'll see. Yeah, it does actually improve there just a little bit, but yeah, still 1.1 seconds off Merrick at the top. Ooh, it's a big slide out turn 2 as well. I think, you know, we saw him mess up the last corner there, almost went into the wall of champions. You can see, although he made that mistake, he's second off. A little mistake can drop you quite a lot of positions here, just because of the short track. You know, 1:11 lap time. A normal track, you might be able to 3-4 tenths, and you might only lose one position because it's a 1:40 lap. Whereas here, you got a 1:11 lap, you lose 1/10, 2 tenths, and you might be dropping a position. So, yeah, the margins are a lot tighter at short circuits like this. Yeah. Oh, I've just been notified that unfortunately you've not been on the stream for the last around 10 minutes.
Oh, really?
So apologies for that. Thank you for notifying me. I should have probably seen that in the chat sooner. Yes, we are now joined by Jack Smith.
That was a fun bit of commentating. Wasn't it? But hello.
Yeah,
on the stream now. Good.
Yeah, so sorry about that. Jack was providing some quite interesting insights. I'm sure you heard the questions. You didn't hear the answers, but yeah.
I can assure everyone that they were very insightful insights. So, yeah.
Yeah.
But we're here now. So
Yes.
let's.
As we are going to the last 5 minutes and 40 seconds of quali, riding on board with Semria into turn 1. He is just going to get blocked by traffic here by the looks of things. Just get out the way on the exit of turn 2, but did look like he made a little mistake into turn 1. Might have cost him some time.
Yeah, Maria actually P2 at the moment in qualifying. He's got a 10th to find on Jace Merrick, so it's gonna be interesting. Jace obviously been one of the front runners in this series throughout the championship, so yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what Maria can do here.
Yeah, he showed some pace before, and he's clearly got the pace. Now we know Merrick has the pace as well, but then Merrick's been unfortunately making quite a few mistakes in the last races, which ultimately made him, I don't want to say lose the championship, but any chance he did have for challenging just kind of slipped away with the mistakes he made each round. So it could be a new winner today, maybe. Or Merrick back on the top step. I think it's been a few rounds since he. I think he only won the one race at Mugello, was it? So.
Yeah, for sure. And with the absence of Gibson once again, it'll, that will surely liken his chances then for a race win tonight. But yeah, Maria looking to be on the pace here tonight. In fact, the next car to all of them is Spencer Owens, who's over 3 tenths behind Maria himself. So
5 tenths almost.
Yeah, so that's a fair gap they've got between the third place and onwards. So yeah, we'll have to watch these two at the top. Maybe we'll see a nice battle in the race, which would be a fun watch.
Yeah, Semaria just that time out set 1:11.421, which can't be far off his current time. My maths isn't quick enough to work that out fast enough. Oh, so that was fastest, but yeah, not much faster. Still not able to get in front of Merrick at the top. Obviously, the grip is coming down. We do ride on board with Merrick now. Not sure if he's on a lap or not. Full throttle down the straight, but obviously could be preparing for start a new lap.
Yeah, it does look like to be a out lap at the moment, so we'll might be an opportunity to watch on board then with Jace Merrick as we head on to the start finish straight here at Canada, heading into turn 1. Being a little bit lenient with the curb on the left there, could have used a little bit more, but it's easing on that power like I was giving my insights earlier as we head into the complex of turns 3 and 4.
The insights we didn't hear.
Yes, the insights you didn't hear earlier. But we shall go through them again this lap, that's absolutely fine. So that's actually pretty nicely done through the left-hander, heading onto the long right down to this next DRS straight, which is crucial to get a really nice exit here, heading into the turn 6 and 7, 8 and 9. Sorry, my bad. Get my track corners mixed up. As we head into the next hairpin, braking as late as you can, making sure you don't lock up the rears as you enter it. He's done that pretty nicely, making sure the power gets put down smoothly once again.
4 tenths up on his previous time.
Yeah, I was going to say it's looking like a pretty clean lap at the moment. DRS wide open now as they head down the straight, topping out at nearly 336 kilometers an hour as they head into the braking zone, smashing over these curves, making sure you don't get track limit infringements as we head down the final straight. And it's going to be a 110.569 from Jace Merrick.
Oh, it's
and
not registered.
It was registered. I did think that was a bit too much curb on the right-hand side there. And yeah, Jace Merrick going to be punching the air at that one, I'd imagine.
Yeah, we did say, you go a little wide and you can invalidate your lap here because the curbs, the track limits are super strict, which, they should be, but yeah, Merrick with an impressive lap, looked fine, got over the line, and then, it just didn't count, so that's 1:11 of his qualifying session wasted, only has 1:40 seconds remaining. Wilhelm starts his lap, so he'll get this lap done. I'm not sure if Merrick will be able to do another lap, if he's got enough charge in the battery, enough tyre life. Point.
Yeah, Jace might not be able to actually do another lap here, which is fine for the moment, but everyone else is starting their next flying laps, including Case Willems here, who I think has a good shot at pole position here. We've seen, glimpses of pace throughout the season, especially with his teammate being Oliver Gibson, who's been the pace setter really throughout the whole season. Shout out to Ollie, I know he's watching at the moment downstairs. But yeah, Case, if he can find a bit of pace here, he's got a green first sector at the moment, which is good, and it's looking good through this next hairpin. Just needs to get that power down nice and smooth. Heading down the next straight, it's another green sector for Case Willems here, but it's not looking like it's going to be enough to beat Jace Merrick at the moment. We shall see as we head into the final little complex here, making sure we don't get those track limit violations as Jace did, and he's avoided it, but at what cost in time? We'll have to see as he crosses the line, and it's going to be a 1 minute 11.8, which is an improvement. He's up to P4, but I'm sure Case would have wanted more from that lap.
Following Semaria now, see what he can do. 1:11.4 to beat from his time, 1:11.2 to beat from Jace, and yeah, 1:11.1, so that's put him to pole.
That was a good lap by Semaria there, and that's going to position him, I believe, unless Jace is actually on another lap here, I think.
Just exiting the hairpin now. Won't have time to do another lap. The timer will, checkered flag will be out by the time he gets there. But yeah, he's coming down the straight now. There is a car in front of him. If he did enough charge in the battery, he might be able to do this lap. But
I believe he's actually up on his time here, Alex, actually. We'll have to see as he gets through the chicane, being very more lenient this time. Is it going to be a pole position here for Jace Merrick as we cross the line?
no.
Oh, it's not. He lost all that time in that chicane. He was 2.5 tenths up, I believe, on that last straight. So
It was Stephen Fox goes fourth, beats out Willems, 1:11.6. I think Willems might just have this lap to go. Obviously, at the end of the quali, you can just go all the way to the end. The fuel doesn't really matter as much. You don't have to get back to the pit, see what you can do. Also, it gets back in front of Fox with it. Yeah, 11.4 from Willems, jumps back in front of Fox. But yeah, that's
11.4, sorry. Yeah.
Semaria on pole. Really, you know, I didn't expect that. I thought Jace would have that with that 1:10.6 or whatever the lap was that we unfortunately did not register. So Semaria at the end of quali pulls into the pits. Does not look like anyone else will be able to beat that. Ali Gottman going 5th in front of Fox. Oh, it's Owens. One of the Owens brothers, I think. Spencer Owens.
Mason Owens. Was it? Oh, Spencer Owens
Spencer
in the
Owens.
P2 there with a 1:11.245. Jace Merrick now on the second row of the grid as we head into this race. Is there anyone else on our current lap? I think there is with Robbie Arthur. That could be wrong.
No, it looks like he's on an in lap.
Yeah, it looks like he's coming on an in lap there. And that's going to be it for your qualifying session. So, Eduardo Semaria on pole position with Spencer Owens. That is a front row I didn't think I'd be seeing in Challenger Split, to be honest. Especially in this round with Jace Merrick with the optimal chance to be, running away with it. But yeah, that's going to make a very interesting start to the race with Jace. He definitely has the pace to be, ahead of these guys. So it's going to be a case of, seeing what he can do off the start here, I'd imagine.
Yeah, as well with obviously for Jace, he'll want to win the race, but I guess the important thing for him is be in front of Willems, and he is 2 positions in front of Willems, a row in front of him. But we've seen before, Case just manages to get himself up into those upper positions. I think the last few rounds we've made a joke. The cars are driving around the track, it's all battling, and then suddenly it's a Lioneers 1-2. We only have one Lioneers car here today, but might be able to repeat that with Willems out in the first position this time as opposed to his teammate. So
yeah, that's going to be interesting. We'll have to see how that all pans out. But actually, ridiculously close between the top 7 there, all within 5 tenths of each other. So that's a good indication for the race. Where I would imagine everyone's going to be similar on race pace if that's.
Yeah,
everyone is quality pace wise.
Important to note that it looks like Stephen Fox did qualifying on the C4 tyre. Now, if you start in the top 10, you must start on the tyres you qualified on. So that will be Fox on the C4 tyres at the start of the race. So it will be interesting to see how that goes. Obviously, at the start of the race, he's going to have a massive advantage at the initial getaway, but how will they last? Obviously, we've not seen the C4 very often, and since the latest Race Sim Studio V3 update for this car, whereas the tyre life was quite substantially decreased, or increased, I should say, which makes running these softer tyres a very, very big gamble. We could see a 2-stop from quite a few drivers here.
Yeah, that's going to be. I think that's going to be a key point in this race with Stephen Fox and those C4s. That's it's an interesting call considering literally the rest of the grid is on the C3s. That's going to make it a bit of an exciting one for him, seeing where he can how many positions he can gain off the start, because that's going to be key with those tyres. He doesn't want to be behind anyone for too long with the softer compound, with the risk of overheating and wearing those tyres out early on. So, yeah, that's going to be an interesting one to watch and see how it unfolds. But yeah, we'll see.
He's on the 4th row, so we'll just have to keep an eye out. You know, some drivers have made really impressive starts here, just chucking it down the inside, and he's got the tyres to do it. So we'll see how it goes. Just the lights start to come on now. The 6 red lights in Assetto Corsa illuminated. And lights out and away we go. Looks like a good start for Semaria and Merrick. Case Willems also up to a great start on the inside of Merrick. Yeah, so that's Willems up to P2 already. Merrick behind, Semaria with a good getaway. Fox, Owens, and Owens again behind. All seem to get away okay.
Oh, what a ridiculous start from Case there. That couldn't have gone any better for him. Jace with what looked like a, I don't know whether he got a bit of wheel spin or something like that, but Case just got the power down immediately, and he's launched himself into the top 2 positions. So I'm not quite sure how he's done that, but props to him. That was a mega start.
Yeah, really awesome start there. Did not expect to see that at all. Now Fox on the C4s up into P4, so that clearly worked out for him. The 2 Owens brothers, I assume the brothers, I'm not actually 100% on that, in 5th and 6th. So yeah, they lost out a little bit, but yeah, crucially for Willems and fortunately for Merrick, Willems is in front on lap 1.
Yeah, that's gonna be vital for Case now to stay ahead of Jace. I'm sure Jace will be fuming once again as he's now staring at the rear wing of his championship rival. Well, 2nd place in the championship rival. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting from now on. Jace really needs to get his head down and start chasing Case down.
Oh, as Owens gets past Fox there, just missed that into turn 1. So Owens back in front of Fox. Apparently Fox is certainly leading. That's not the case. Yeah, Owens back in front of Fox. So Fox, he's on the faster tyres, but the car on the C3 tyres are now in front of him, and that's really not ideal for him. I thought, he'd be pulling away from the cars behind, but yeah, that's, running in the dirty air, running behind other cars is going to wear those tyres even more, so he's not what he needs right now.
Yeah, no, exactly, and once you're in that dirty air, those C4s will just get gradually worse over time as well, so Fox really needs to find a way past Owens here, and if he can get a little bit of a slipstream down this next straight and hopefully make a move.
Yeah, we just saw Cron the lap before getting overtaken by Gottman into the hairpin. Now Woodward is right behind Cron out the hairpin. Doesn't get the best exit, but yeah, Cron losing a little time to the cars in front at the start here. Doesn't look like Woodward will be anywhere near close enough to be able to make a move, but
yeah, it looks like Woodward probably hanging back a little bit at the moment. Being very leaning there at the chicane. Probably losing a bit of time there. They're down to nearly 7/10 of a second. Yeah, who's that? Is that Jace Merrick right behind Case Willems there? That's pretty close. Case losing a bit of time to Jace now after that start. Jace, as we saw in qualifying, did have some more pace in his pocket, so it was sort of. We sort of expected this in the race to see Jace. We're rhyming today, aren't we? We're racing Jace, but yeah, he's looking for a way past here.
The touch.
Contact between
both cars
the two.
off.
That is massive for the championship. Will Jace get ahead though?
That puts Owens up into P2. All the cars get through almost. So Merrick into P6. Willems unfortunately lost 2 more positions down in P8. So worked out for Merrick. I mean, obviously, I think the penalties that will almost certainly result from that might change the thing at the end of the race. But yeah, contact behind the 2 championship rivals for P2. And yeah, I don't want to say it, but it's the thing we've seen from Jace before, getting a little close in the braking zone and they just touch. And before, the car in front has kind of got away from it. It's been Jace that's lost out, but this time, yeah, both cars off.
Yeah, that's just one thing that, some of the, the lesser experienced guys, they seems to be like a recurring incident really, where it's you brake at your normal braking point, but there's a car in front of you.
Case into the wall. Huge crash there. Just must have massive front wing damage. It just understeered straight on into the wall there. just switched on board.
Yeah, that was
Oh,
pretty good timing because he's gone around again. And who's that? He's gone
James
with,
K, I think. Yeah.
Oh dear, that couldn't have gone worse for Case. There,
No.
looks like he's got pretty poor tire damage and wing damage now, especially with all those spins he's had.
Yeah, I
So
think
that's
he
yeah.
must have had front wing damage from the initial contact with Merrick. Just didn't compensate for it. Understeered off at turn 3, and then yeah, just disaster. Then contact with the cars behind. Obviously, he was quite slow through the corner. I don't know if the car behind just didn't expect him. Yeah, he's dropped down P11 now, so outside the points. I expect he'll be pitting this lap, but not 100%.
I'm pretty surprised Jace hasn't. Oh, to be fair, I'm not really now after looking at the timing sheets, as Jace has put a purple sector in this lap with a 1:13.3, which isn't the fastest on track at the moment, with Semaria walking away with a 12.8 at the moment. So
Villeneuve's into the pits. So he is
Jace
pitting for the damage.
Jace seemingly not really affected by that touch with Case, so looks like he's going to be continuing on with this race.
Yeah, running P6, but only what 5/10 behind P5, then another second to P4. Looks to the inside here. Not really going to be able to do anything.
It's getting a bit close. That was
Gottman
very
defends the
bold from
inside.
Jace.
Yeah,
he's a bit frustrated now as to find his way past. So we'll keep an eye on this. It looks like it's going to be a charge through the field for Jace Merrick here.
Yeah, Gottman, clearly, although he might not be as fast, Jace caught back up to him very, very fast. But yeah, just defending that inside line. He has his own battle at the moment with Owens in front, has the DRS. Won't be close enough to make a move, but looks to the inside anyway.
Yeah, all aboard the DRS train as Jace Merrick goes to the pits. I can't tell whether that's on purpose or not. It looked like he wanted to go for the chicane, but opted to go for the pit lane instead. But yeah, I guess we'll see what he does. Maybe he goes for the long route, fix that front wing damage he may have incurred from the contact with Case Willems. We'll see what he does here.
Yeah, what you said, like, it didn't look like he was sure. It was almost like he braked late. Thought he was going to maybe even collide with one of the cars in front and then just decided to go straight onto the pit lane.
So he's gone for the long route option here, going for the C1 tyres now. Oof. So, yeah, an interesting one from Jace Merrick here. Maybe trying a longer strategy, see if he can undercut some of the top guys and maybe get some clean running and some clean air.
Oh, Scottman looks at the inside of the hairpin. Sorry, Jack. Manages to get the move done from so far back on Owens there, but Owens might come back at him now. I think Gottman will have the DRS, but yeah, so Gottman's got the DRS, but Owens in the toe, looks to the outside into the final chicane, gets alongside, but must have to back out. No, they try to go side by side.
Owens around the outside of the chicane. That was a brilliant move. I can't believe he just pulled that off. I thought that for sure there was going to be contact there.
Gottman's coming back, looking on the outside of turn 1. Managed to go around the outside of turn 1 and gets the position back again. So back and forth between Gottman and Owens. But yeah, impressive move from both drivers there. I did not expect Owens to go around the outside of the final chicane, but managed to do it. Impressive stuff from both drivers there to not even have any contact.
Yeah, some nice racing respect, which is what we'd like to see. Some nice clean racing here tonight. So yeah, that was a good clean battle there from those two.
Yeah, he's not able to shake off Owens yet, as Owens has the DRS, is still following him around, might have another opportunity to get back past after the hairpin on the back straight. Out in front though, Semaria, 8 seconds in front of Mason Owens, so putting that pace he showed in quali to good use and uncontested at the front. Yeah,
it looks like he's setting the pace once more again as he does another fastest lap of the race with a 1:12.322. Yeah, 2 purple sectors in that lap. Semaria really getting into a rhythm now as he sails away.
Owens behind, a second slower, and then Fox behind 2-3 seconds there. I'm not sure if he made a mistake on that lap, but yeah, he's showing awesome pace here. I think Master Split drivers were doing similar race pace, 1:12s, 1:11s. So yeah, Semaria, new to the series, done a few races before, had some good results, but again showing his speed. Maybe looking for a Master Split drive next season.
Yeah, for sure. It looks like Kron's getting oh, there's a little bit of a train going on, I think, between third, fourth, and fifth. As Spencer Owens and Alexander Kron look to be slowly closing into each other. Again, that little DRS train going on there, so that'll be a fun one to keep an eye on. And all of them around similar pace as well, so yeah, that's going to be a fun little battle as it goes on, and you can see them slowly closing in. It's going to be an interesting one here for Stephen Fox, since he's the one who's punching that hole through the air as we head down this next straight, and the rest of them, well, they all have DRS and they all have that slipstream from Stephen, so lap by lap they'll be gaining on Stephen Fox here, so we'll have to keep an eye on that one.
Yeah, won't be able to do anything this lap, but you can see all the cars behind have DRS off each other. Actually, Owens has just dropped back a little bit, so won't have the DRS, I don't think, but yeah, Gottman was a second faster that lap. You see him closing up into turn 1. The Fox on those C4 tyres, we did say they would work out. They have got him up to P3 at the start of the race, but as they do, you know, as they age, as they wear out, just the C3 runners are going to start to close in, and here they are closing in.
Yeah, it's interesting. I can't tell. I can't really recall seeing Stephen getting stuck behind anyone really. Like he was further back to begin with, but he swiftly got through the pack, and maybe at this point in the race the C4s could be dropping off.
I think he got a reasonable start up to P4, and then one of the Owens brothers got past him, and then they've pulled away, but the cars behind, obviously the collision between Merrick and Willems.
Yes, of course, yeah.
So
Behind Ali Gottman, really close now. Just needs to get the power down. It looks like he could be close enough this lap, as he's only 0.4 of a second behind now. It might just be too much though, I think, at the moment. But again, we've got another DRS straight in this main straight. Ali just needs to set himself up for the run as into the pits. Goes Fox. That was...
Yeah, so we did say about the C4 tyres were wearing, and he's decided, right, I'm not going to let these guys get past. I'm just going to switch to the C4s, try get the undercut. He's probably going to have to do a 2-stop. I'm not sure what tyres he's going to come out on.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. I'll keep an eye on that as he's in the pits. And it looks like he's gone onto the C2s as he exits. So, slightly... Yeah, I would have thought he'd be going onto the C3s, but try and make it a one-stop, I guess.
Yeah. Now, it is 46 laps here, so it's quite long. Obviously, the lap is very short, but there's 46 laps to go. Not sure they will last. Merrick was on the C1s, and he's actually came out in front of Fox, so them C1s are really working out for Merrick so far. Imran Sheikh just 0.6 in front of Merrick, and then Fox another 0.6 behind him.
Yeah, looked like it took a few laps for Jace to get those C1s activated, but they're pulling in some nice lap times now. He's done what was it, a 13.6 in the last lap, so he's bringing in the pace at the moment, which is good. I think he actually did a 12.7 as his best on those tires.
He looks to the outside of the hairpin now. Sheikh just got a bad exit. Maybe even look for the DRS. I'm not sure. We'll have to see on this straight. Lock up for, I think, both cars there.
Oh, he just needed a good exit, didn't he? And he hasn't got that this time, unfortunately. But if he can just get into the slipstream in the car in front, but it looks like 1 second might be just a little bit too far back as he's falling into the clutches of Stephen Fox, who's just on fresh new C2 tyres. So here we go then. Can Stephen find his way past as we head down the main straight? He will have DRS this straight. I think Imran... Oh, he doesn't. He doesn't have DRS. As we head into turn 1, looked like he was going to make a move, but pulled out of it pretty early there. Looking to make a move this lap, I'd imagine, is Stephen Fox.
Yeah, I'm just quite thinking about Fox's strategy. It seems quite unusual, because he was on the C4s, and yeah, the cars behind were catching, but I thought he would have stayed out that 1 lap longer just to try, you know, slow up the cars behind. They were on the C3s, about to overtake, you know, which would cost them time, and then he just pulls off and gives them clean air in front of him.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a strange one, really. Even when I did a little bit of practice earlier, the C4 seemed to last a lot longer than 9 laps, maybe about 14, 15 laps is where you probably find the pace dropping off. But yeah, a bit of an early call from Stephen here. But yeah, we'll see if it works out. The C2's obviously been harder than the C3s that some of the front runners have started on, or the rest of the field, should I say. But yeah, gonna be interesting. Obviously, Jace on the C1s now, which will be interesting to see as well, as he's setting some decent pace at the moment.
Sheikh is back in DRS for Merrick, so that has allowed him just to stay that bit in front of Fox, so Fox won't be able to make a move this lap. Both cars don't have DRS for each other. Yeah, Shakes a fastest lap personal best that time round. Fox a second off him, even though he's on the fresh tyres.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting actually. Yeah, so now sort of in a bit of a no man's land with, I think all of them are out of tow of each other, and all of them are out of DRS range as well. So that's going to be, yeah, someone needs to make a mistake there. I think there for someone to catch up to someone, and I think Stephen Fox is actually the one to make a gain there, as he's now only 6 tenths behind.
As we just switch away, yeah, we'll go back on board with Fox. He does have DRS on him right now. Able to get much closer. We'll have the DRS down the back straight now as well. See how close he is on the exit. Might even look to make a move into the hairpin here. Now backs out of it. Oh, as he locks the rear into the wall.
That's what I was saying in my insightful insights earlier about locking the rears into that one. But yeah, that's a mistake that's going to cost Stephen Fox now for the rest of this race, unfortunately.
Move almost looks certain. He was so close to the shake in front, and then yeah, just catches you out. There's no way you can react to it. You know, when it goes that fast, you just have to not lock the rears. I know that sounds quite easy to say it that way, but yeah, it can just catch you out when you least expect it, especially when you're looking to the outside, looking to the inside, trying to almost confuse your opponent in front of you to make a mistake, and then yeah, you make one yourself.
Yeah, normally you'd sort of you'd think that F1 cars like these, you know, they'd lock the fronts before they lock the rears, but it's something to do with the RSS mod where it sort of locks fronts a little bit sometimes, and then the rears seem to lock in a straight line. It's a really weird sensation if you ever get to drive this car on AC, but it's yeah, sometimes it can catch some people out, as you just saw Stephen Fox finding out that himself. So yeah, hopefully Stephen can have a good rest of this race with that damage he's got.
On the topic of that, if you would like to drive the car, do feel free to join us. You can click the invite link in the description below. Get involved. We run the Sprint Series and the Premier Split. Sprint Series is on the last round, and after this Premier Series will be on the last round too. But then the new seasons for both will be starting, and you'll be able to join in and participate. So yeah, click the Discord link below to get into our Discord server and get involved. We see Woodward right behind Kay here. Both cars are pitted, but sure what the pace difference is like on these two.
I think between these two, yeah, it's about 2 tenths difference.
Kay goes into the pits.
Battle, wasn't it?
But I thought Kay had already pitted, so I'm not sure if he has damage and he's decided to, you know, cuss his losses, pit early. But yeah, I did not expect to see that.
That's a strange one. He was on C3s as he pitted, so I don't know. Maybe he's not pitted yet. Maybe he made a mistake or something. But we'll have to see. As we're on board with Stephen Ebner now, who's looking at Case Willems, who has opted for the C1 tyre.
Well, he did have the incident early on, obviously, which, you know, kind of ruined his race a little bit. We expect him to see him making his way through the field, but yeah, only in 10th position at the moment. Hepner behind, only a second now behind him. Yeah, not really ideal for Willems, not able to close that gap. Merrick up into P6, probably going to maybe even get P5 here. Now Owens is pitting. We'll see where he comes out. Merrick comes around the last corner. Yeah, so Owens still in 5th place. So Merrick is up in 6th and is in 6th after all the other cars pit. So yeah, Willems, you know, the championship battle for 2nd, 4-5 places behind. Not ideal.
Yeah, we'll have to see what you can do. Obviously, long race to go. So yeah, I think Case just needs to. Oh, and who's that going on? It's Robbie Arthur. He's made that's a very strange place to be off. In the hairpin nummy, you'd see it on the other side of that part, but Robbie Arthur making a little bit of a mistake there.
Oh, sorry to interrupt. Looks like Cron is right behind Owens here. I'm getting confused with the Owens. I wish there was a little initial to compare them. I'm not sure if he's pitted.
Mason Owens.
This is Mason Owens.
And he's on the C2s, so it looks like he has pitted from the C3 tyres as Alexander Cron. I don't think he has.
Sure he's not on the C3s? He looks like he's on the C3s.
Well, maybe he is. I don't really know. It's on my time.
Oh, this is Spencer Owens on the C3 tyres with Cron behind, also on the C3 tyres. And yeah, both cars have not pitted. Now, I thought the gap was bigger than that, so I'm not sure if Owens has made a mistake and it's allowed Cron to get closer as he just hits the wall. Out of turn 3, turn 4. Ooh, looks unstable out the exit there. I'm not sure if he's damaged the rear.
Oh, it looks like he has a little bit of a twitch there in the low speed. That could be tire related actually.
Whoa.
As he's holding him up, Kron has to avoid it, and he's in the wall. That is unbelievable. That was a bit strange there from Owens actually. I'm not really sure what he.
What was
Oh,
Owens
he spins
spins?
around again. That is, yeah, that must be a tire. I'm thinking he may be trying to let Kron past as he.
Yeah,
has a
I mean
bit of
they're
a tire issue, but
both Super Null Racing, same team. They might be communicating, and I think Owens looked to the inside to let Kron through. Kron tried to race him, didn't expect him to back off, and just lost the rear in a straight line. Now, I don't imagine the teammates will be reporting each other, but Kron essentially brake checking his teammate there and caused him to lose out.
That was very Barcelona Ocon-esque, wasn't it, really? That sort of incident where Ocon had to avoid the car in front.
Yeah,
and
Kron
ended up
comes
in
into the
wall.
pits. Owens pits now as well, so both cars into the pits. Obviously, we did see Owens spinning out again, so he must have damage. Kron will almost certainly have damage after that crash. That's really unusual things there, and that's let Mason Owens back in clean air.
Who is on the C2s, and that was the Owen I was confused with.
Yes.
So there he is.
I believe Mason Owens has pitted, and he is now in third in front of Owens and Kron. And that has also allowed Merrick to get into fourth place in front of Owens and Kron. So those incidents kind of worked out for Merrick. If he doesn't have to pit again, we'll see. There is 30 laps remaining, so still quite a long way to go.
Yeah, those C1s, I guess they could last that long, but that's a hell of a lot of time for one set of tyres at these sort of speeds. So yeah, we'll have to see how that one pans out for him. But the rest of the grid going for C2s, and I don't think they pitted that much later than Jace. So maybe they will, but we'll have to see.
We can see Shake here, Fox and Imran Shake still following each other, and then Owens, who just pitted, has actually slotted in between them. So this might work out for Fox. Might be able to finally get past Imran Shake if Owens gets past. Now Owens is on the much fresher tyres, so we'll probably be able to overtake.
Once again another DRS train. Kron just trailing a little bit out of the DRS behind, although he did get it that lap actually. But yeah, it looks like we've got a big train of 4 here.
You can see how much faster Owens was through the final corner there. Looks to the outside at turn 1. We've seen moves before at turn 1. Yep, exactly the same. Owens through on Shake. That does allow Fox to get right up close as well. Don't think he'll be able to make a move here, but you'll never know. We'll just ride aboard, see what he can do. Yeah, obviously way too far back. No chance you can chuck it up the inside at a high-speed corner like that. But this one maybe.
Fox taking some liberties there with the track. That's a very dangerous part to be going off at. As I found out earlier, taking that grass sometimes sends you to a spin. So really trying to push the limits here of what he can do on track as he goes down the inside at turn 7. Can he make it stick? He's going to push him off the track and
Shake on the grass.
Close. But he makes the move.
And that lets Kron through as well, so that's Shake down 3 positions in 1 lap. Fox does finally get past him around Shake. Allowed Kron to get past 2, and I imagine Kron will be looking to get past Fox now on those fresher tyres.
Kron reading that situation pretty well there and managing to gain a position from it, so he's done well there. But now the chase is on. 8 tenths between him and Stephen Fox. Can he make a move into this next part? He needs a good exit here. Looks like he may be close enough. We'll have to see it. Too far back this time, but he's going to be trying to line one up for the next DRS straight, I'm sure.
100%. We've seen Owens pitted at the same time. He's already 3 seconds in front of Fox. So, yeah, Kron just, being patient, waiting to get past. No need to, maybe not no need to rush past. He does want to try keep up with Owens in front. But, yeah, you don't want to ruin your race, put yourself in the wall, where we've seen other drivers do so many times, especially at a track like this where the walls are so close.
DRS wide open then for Kron, but it's not going to be enough this time as we're into turn 7 and 8. Looks like, is that Fox just getting a better exit there as we head on to the next part. But this would be crucial for Kron. He needs a good entry and exit out of here. And he's got a bit too deep. Or is he trying to build up some exit speed? I can't really tell, but... Yeah,
sorry, just for the lead, well, not for the lead, sorry. At the front, Gottman came out in P3. Owens keeping that P2 he had before. Merrick slotted in just behind. There's a lapped car between them. We'll just go back on board with Kron. Yeah, still not close enough to be able to do anything. But yeah, so
Yeah,
Merrick up into 4th, just behind Gockman. Wilhelm's in P9. He got in front of Woodward just a lap ago or so, but yeah, Woodward's back in front now as Semaria in the lead finally pits. He had a 36-second gap to the car behind. I think he should be able to come out quite comfortably in the lead here.
Yeah, I think Semira's played that really well. He's managed to lengthen those C3s out to 20 laps of this race, so if he just puts on a pair of C2s now, I'm sure he'll just sail away now into the distance. He'll have better tyres towards the end, and everyone else is on the same tyre as him now, and they're all used. So yeah, I think Semira is in a prime position here for this one.
Yeah, really showing incredible performance here. We've seen a few drivers do this before. We have Miradi came here, completely dominated. Ward at the start of the season also, came into Challenger Split, completely dominated, immediately moved up to Master Split. So, yeah, we're seeing a similar story here. Samaria 15 seconds in front after his pit stop. Not really challenged so far.
Yeah, and as I said, gone on to the C2s, just like everyone else in this race, apart from Robbie Arthur, Case Willems and Jace Merrick. And Case and Jace actually having a bit of a little bit of a coming together. And who's that spinning around? Is that James K?
It's Leslie Peters.
Oh, Leslie Peters.
P13. Just dropped it on the exit of turn 2.
Yeah, pretty tricky corner though to get that power down. It does light up quite easily there. So, and looks like he was on the C2s as well, but I'm not quite sure how much he's into that stint. But those tyres will probably be warm now, that's for sure.
And we see Kron still behind Fox. Like, Owens in front managed to pull a 5-second gap to Fox now, and Kron's still stuck behind him. Not ideal for him at all.
Kron may be trying to look for some weaknesses in Fox here, but I think he just needs a good exit out of this last last hairpin. It looks like he's got that this lap actually. He looks closer than he has been before, but is it close enough? It's 0.4 of a second. It's not looking like it's going to be close enough. He needs to back himself off here and line him up for the next straight. He's a bit lenient through that chicane, but it's looking close. Could it be enough? It's 0.2 of a second between these two. They're heading to turn 1.
No,
not going to happen this time.
Oh, but Fox does run wide there. Might have the chance to look at the undercut. Nope. Switchback, sorry. Nope, nothing he can do.
Yeah.
But crucially, this is just losing Kron so much time. Owens now 6 seconds in front, so pulling out almost a second a lap to Fox, and Kron just not able to get past.
Yeah, Kron just looking a little bit nervous, I think, on the power there. As I don't really blame him, to be fair, as this track can be really brutal, as I said, on the power. But that's where he's losing the time to Fox in front, and yeah, it's going to cost him for every single straight he goes down. And yeah, that's going to be key for Kron to get past Fox here.
It's closer than he's ever been before now, here though, into the hairpin. Doesn't look for a move here, but again, if he just gets that exit, it's a little wide.
Yeah, that's good. Gets that extra little bit of speed, but it's on the power where Fox just pulls that slight gap out, and it looks a little bit longer than the last lap, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But can he just line himself up for this next little straight, make a move into turn 1? That is lots of overspeed for Kron.
Looks to the inside. Locks the rears.
Rears. Oh, no.
Take a screenshot.
Fox just getting past there as he has to avoid and take off the track. Is he in the wall there?
Yeah, it looks like he tried to spin turn then and collided with the wall, unfortunately. So that's disaster for Kron. Dropped down to 9th place now. Yeah, he'd made kind of a bit of a half-hearted move to the inside. Just didn't really know where he wanted to be. Really kind of trusting the other car to back out. I don't think the other car really knew what was going on either. And yeah, just locked the rears, as you said, as we saw happen to Fox a few laps ago as well. And yeah, that's just disaster, basically. It's put him all the way down in P10.
Yeah, it's not great for Kron there, and I don't really think the chicane is a prime overtaking opportunity. Really, I think what he should have done there is just sort of held himself back, lined himself up for that next little straight, get the DRS again, and make a solid move into turn 1, like we saw earlier in the race. Just hooking it around the outside of turn 1, it seems to be a hot spot, whereas that chicane just it can push you on, and it can probably make a collision there in that chicane. So, but yeah.
I think to make a move like he was doing, you really just have to trust the other driver to give you the position. They just have to give up, and he wasn't fully committed into the corner, locked the rear anyway, maybe in panic, thinking, oh no, is the other driver, is he going to be there? And then
Yeah,
and unfortunate, puts him down into P10, still a point, but yeah, not ideal. And Owens, who he was racing, is now 20-30 seconds up the road, so I think that ship has sailed for him.
yeah. As Semaria putting in 2 purple sectors at the moment up in front. He's seeming to be getting into those C2s quite well, as he does an 11.895 over the line there. It's like we're back in qualifying again. Semaria just putting in those quali laps and trying not to make a mistake, and that's all he needs to do really, as he extends his gap now to over 20 seconds behind to Mason Owens.
Yeah, just showing incredible pace. 11.8 is... It would be impressive in Master Split, and he's doing it in Challenger Split, which, Owens behind 1.8 seconds slower that lap. Now, maybe Semaria is pushing and Owens is just managing the tyres. He is in a different race after all, but at the start, they're all the same cars. And, yeah, Semaria showing impressive pace. Gibson and Merrick, and Willems could be up there if they weren't. If Gibson was here and Merrick and Willems didn't have the incidents, but allowed Semaria just to get away from the rest of the field.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Jace Merrick putting in a few green sectors, but it's not looking.
Oh,
like
see that Merrick spins in the background.
Yeah, he's just
Huge
that
off.
was good timing. That was good timing as I brought him up. But Jace spinning out there, and that's looking like it's going to be damage.
Yeah, big. Just oversteered through the corner. Must have took too much curb. A huge crash. I imagine he's going to be pitting again. Yeah, and not really commentator's curse. We weren't even watching him, but
it was
just in the background.
Very poor timing, I think, there of me just mentioning his times and then suddenly appearing on the screen. But Case Willems, whether he knows that Jace has had a bit of an incident or not, as he pits now.
Yeah, so it must have damage.
Implications for Case's championship here, the second place in the championship, as Case now on the C1s. If he doesn't make a mistake now, you won't have to pit until the end of the race. And but Jace,
Merrick does have a gap, so will he be able to get in front? Merrick does seem to have quite a lot of damage because his pit stop is taking a long time, but
he's out of the box now, so it looks like Jace may stay ahead here with the newer tyres.
Yeah, Willems just at the end of the straight will not be able to get in front, so yeah, Merrick holds on in front of Willems in a P5, Fox just behind him. So yeah, quite a big mistake for Merrick there, but has managed to salvage it a little bit and only lose 1 position from that. So, as Kron's made another mistake. Yeah, so Kron down in P12 now.
Oh, that's a bad place to be spun around. Slowly, Austin powers it there, Kron. As the cars go around the outside onto the grass nearly. And he just needs to find a gap here, making sure he's looking at his track map.
Was Davlianid say retires from the race there. I'm not sure what happened, but he was running P15 at the time, so imagine just incident, gave up in the end. But yeah, Kron, another mistake. Well, earlier on, unfortunate, just racing incident, really tried to push the limits, didn't get it. He pitted onto the fresh tyres and then just makes another mistake. Woodward in a P8 is off at the hairpin, taking the alternative route there.
Yeah, making his own little racing line there in the hairpin. And who is that? Is that Kron?
Kron, I think.
Kron goes straight on at the hairpin, straight to the wall, as he DNFs.
DNFs, retires from the race. So Kron clearly, came from, I think, P4, P5, down into P13. He's had enough. He's going home.
Oh my gosh, we're spinning again. Who's that? It looks
Robbie Arthur, I think.
Oh, Robbie Arthur. He's had a little bit of a spin. I could not tell you where that is. Just before the hairpin.
Yeah, so where Merrick just had his off. Now, you were saying, this track kind of takes no prisoners. There is walls super close. You take the curb too much, you spin. You lock the rears, you spin. Too much throttle, you spin.
Yeah, it's pretty relentless. And yeah, there's loads of little curbs and bumps and pieces of grass that can just send you off. And yeah, just like Robbie Arthur's experienced as he cuts the chicane. That's a new line. But yeah, I'm sure he's lost enough time this lap anyway that it wouldn't really make a difference.
No.
Yeah. Semaria running away with it seems, as he's now 24 seconds in the lead and with no sign of actually slowing down yet.
No, he's definitely not backed off. He's still pushing all the way, which, you know, if that gets him a gap to maybe pit at the end for fastest lap, might set an even. I mean, does he need to? He's already set fastest lap by, I think, 3 or 4 tenths to the next closest car. So, yeah. Oh, it's Fox. Fox in P7 pits. So we did see him go into the C2 tires after pitting early on the C4s. He's decided to pit, so going for that 2-stop. See where he comes out.
Yeah, that's an interesting call, actually. It's Fox now opting for, if I can find him on my timing sheet here,
C2s again, I think.
C2s again.
Yeah.
Which, okay, that's I probably would have opted for the C3s there after seeing what kind of stint Semaria was doing. But obviously
Playing it
Fox in the
safe.
car won't have that information. Jace Merrick now setting some purple sectors, as we would expect, really, coming late onto those C2s after his off.
Might have a battle for second forming here. Gottman was a second faster than Owens that lap, as Owens just caught a big slide of oversteer out of turn 2. Just see him in the rear view camera here, just edging closer and closer.
Yeah, Owens seemingly looking like he's struggling with the rear of that car, and yeah, the tyres, if you're not careful on the throttle here, those rears can quickly wear out. A little bit every lap can really add up here. So yeah, Gottman just needs to play his cards right, catch up to Mason here, and find a way past. And yeah, he's looking pretty clean here, Owens. He's not taking any liberties with his track limits. He's
Gottman went wide through the
Gottman,
chicane there, lost 7 tenths actually that lap. So that corner alone. So, yeah, maybe not able to edge closer as I was saying before, but keep an eye on it. You never know what will happen. Obviously, Owens did look like he was struggling a little bit. We did see some cars brush the wall and have quite huge rear wing damage. I can't remember who it was, but someone a few laps ago having huge oversteer just after they brushed that wall. So maybe he's had contact with the wall of champions, contact through turn 3, and it has damaged the car a little bit, made it a little bit of a handful to drive.
Yeah, that can always be in contention, can't it? But yeah, I'm not quite sure whether I actually saw Mason hit the wall. Normally it tells me on my timing sheet whether someone's actually had a little bit of contact, but yeah, we'll have to see. I think it may be tyre related though, as we'll have a look here. This would be a big indicator, but looking like he's pretty careful there on the throttle. So Gottman.
Hepner's round.
Oh,
turn 1, turn 2, I think that is. Yeah, so manages to keep it going. Doesn't really affect anyone. Dropped outside the points into P11. I think Peters has also gone off there. So a few cars in the background having issues. We did see that a few laps ago. Everyone seemed to make mistakes in succession, but yeah, everyone's got going again.
Even on new tyres, the exits here are pretty hard to keep under control. So I imagine as we get later on into these stints, we'll see little mistakes like that throughout the field. It's just going to be whoever doesn't make the mistake that's going to be who will come out on top here, as Semaria is actually showing quite nicely now, as he's now pulled that gap to 26 seconds in the lead. He's just sort of just minding his own business, really. We haven't really seen him much this race. He's just sort of been there, hasn't he, really? So
yeah, it's K pits from P10. Might allow Hebner to get back in the points actually, but maybe we'll see another mistake and that'll all change again. It's 15 laps remaining, lap 31 out of 46 here.
Interestingly, speaking of mistakes, looks like Gottman may have made one, as he's now just
dropped back
over
even
2
further.
seconds. Yeah. Maybe he's had a little bit of a brush of the wall, like you said earlier. But yeah, looking pretty careful now, making sure he doesn't make a mistake like that again. As we head into the hairpin here.
I mean, it obviously depends what the drivers want as well. He's running P3, 20 seconds gap to P4 behind. Is there any need for him to push? If he's happy with P3, just kind of keep the car on the road and get the result.
Yeah, for sure. But we're all racing drivers at heart. We want the best result we can get, don't we? So I'm going to go for
pits?
and Gottman pitting. Maybe he did have damage then.
Okay, well, he does have the 20-second gap behind, but then Merrick is only 2 seconds behind him as well. I'm not actually sure how much a pit stop cost you here, but might see Owens and Merrick potentially get in front here.
Now that's interesting. Gottman opting for the C4s.
Oh, 14 laps.
14 laps on the C4s. I did say that was when where it's a bit after where the pace drops off actually. So that's a bold move there from Gottman. I would have personally gone for the C3s this late. Well, not this late in the race, 32 laps in. But that's an interesting call. But Gottman now on these first flyers at least will be especially quick. So we'll have to keep an eye.
Managed to stay in front of Owens and Merrick as well. So as long as he can keep those tyres alive, I should be able to keep it going. Okay, lap traffic in front, weaving about a little bit there. Not sure what that was about, but Merrick is now only 4-5 tenths behind Owens as well. So I don't know if Owens made a mistake or Merrick has just been pushing super hard the last few laps and he's managed to close that gap. We'll have DRS on this back straight if he's able to get a good exit.
Owens is taking the less favourable line now, I'd say, into the hairpin there, but yeah, very interesting. Jace should have a good run out of here. I'm not quite sure how Owens has actually had a really good run out of that one, with that line especially. As we head down the next straight here, getting very, very close. Jace needs to hold back, and he has done, making sure he gets a good run out of here.
Oh, is he
round? And he's around. That's the last thing he needed. Looked like a lot of steering input for that chicane there, and that's just caught him out on the exit.
Yeah, unfortunately, he was pushing really hard. Did manage to catch back up to Owens, but yeah, just a little mistake. He was being patient. He didn't
wasn't he?
try chuck it up the inside of Owens, sorry. But I think even then, if you're patient, you can make silly little errors because you're not on your normal line. Obviously, you do all the practice, you get muscle memory how to take a corner, and then if you're offline, not how you normally would be, it can be quite easy just to accidentally spin the rears up, as we saw Merrick do there, and yeah, just lose the car.
Yeah, I think with Merrick being that close as well, I think you lose your bearings a little bit with a car, blocking 90% of what you can see in front of you. Maybe losing his bearings as he head into the chicane, maybe missing the apex a little bit and trying to make up for that. Who's that's going wide there? Probably
Hepner, I think.
Hepner or Robbie Arthur there.
It was Robbie Arthur.
Rising car.
Yellow T-cam. It's Robbie Arthur.
Yeah,
just getting out of the way of Owens there. Obviously, lap down. No need to. You don't want to impede the other car. Gottman setting 1:12.4, so personal best for him. Quite a good lap time indeed. On the C4s they are, aren't they?
Yeah, that's a little bit slower than what I would have thought. Actually, I would have thought he'd be doing lower 11s, considering that Semaria was doing 11.8s on the C2s. So yeah, Gottman maybe slowly acclimatizing to these tyres. We'll have to see what he does this lap.
He does have to push them for 14 laps though, so maybe just taking it a little bit easy to get them to the end.
Yeah, that's also a good point. Yeah, maybe trying to be a little bit pushy but a little bit lenient at the same time. But yeah, we'll see what Gottman does here.
Yeah, obviously if he does make a mistake as well, that's going to put Owens or Merrick right behind him as well, so not really what he wants. Clean through the hairpin though, so going okay so far. Yeah, Semaria, again, P1, now 30 seconds in front of Owens. 11 laps to go, just unstoppable so far.
Yeah, he's just not challenged, is he really? He's over, 7 tenths of a second a lap quicker than Mason Owens behind in P2. And yeah, I mean, in one sector alone, I think he's over 5 tenths of a second quicker, so he's he's doing really well for will it be the first race he's won? Not actually too sure.
I believe so. I think he set pole position last time out at Suzuka, but just fell down the field. I could be wrong. Unfortunately, my memory is atrocious. I'll double check.
But yeah, that'll be a hell of a debut win for Semaria, winning by a margin like that. And yeah, Mason Owens behind on 13.8 at the moment, nearly a second down actually. So yeah, Semaria really flying here as we go on board now. Nose cam, we do like a nose cam.
Yeah, Semaria last time out was in second, so I believe he did get pole position, but was not able to convert that to a win. Had a little issue and then managed to get back up to second by the end, but yeah, Gibson in Japan, unstoppable. That Semaria kept checks on him at the start of the race, but just dropped back. But yeah, looks like he will be taking his maiden win as he comes to lap Wilhelms here, who is P3 in the championship.
And Jace Merrick, I think he's slowly, making his way back towards Spencer Owens after his little spin coming out of, I can't remember where it was now, but yeah, a little bit of an off there for Jace Merrick earlier, but slowly edging that gap ever so closer back to Spencer Owens now. As I think there's a 12-7 from Jace Merrick there on the C2s, so yeah, nearly just over a second and a half faster than that last lap. So really making inroads there for Owens. I'd imagine Jace will be wanting to come away with today, a podium from today, at the very least after the race he's had so far. So he'll be pushing on now, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I mean, thankfully for him, he's in front of Willems. Now the points gap to Willems is around 14 points, I think. So, it's not huge, but not tiny at the same time. When they're both in 5th and 6th, it's going to extend the gap for Merrick, not to the degree he would want, but yeah, Willem's going to drop back, so he would almost have to win or finish 2nd, and Merrick would have to finish outside the points at the next round for that to any chance at 2nd in the constructors, in the championship, sorry, in the drivers' championship.
Yeah, the key now for Jace is no more mistakes. That's what he needs to do. Just needs to get there now, and just make sure he finishes above Case, so that gap just extends and doesn't decrease. And that's realistically, he could stay behind Spencer Owens here, as Case
definitely
lapping 14.7s and Owens, a second a lap quicker than Case anyway. So he could realistically stay behind, enjoy some fuel saving in the tow, and happy days. But
Owens is round.
Owens has spun around, so that makes the move easy for Merrick there, doesn't it? Really, so he's got past anyway.
Merrick into P4. No, doesn't even have to overtake, just sails past when Owens makes that little error. Kept the car going, but yeah, not great for Owens. Still in P5, 13-second gap to Willems behind, but yeah, for Merrick that's ideal. Put him back up into P4. Now 2 positions in front of his championship rival.
Yeah, now, however, that does, that does make it worse for Case, actually, as now Merrick has got those few extra points where he can extend that gap even further to the next round, and, Case will need every point he can get at this point, as he needs to find 11 seconds now to Owens in front.
I don't think that's too likely. There's only 8 laps remaining, and Owens was faster that last stint anyway. Yeah, I was just about to say before Owens made that mistake. I was going to say don't rule anything out, because we did see Merrick making some errors when trying to overtake other cars before, and if he did spin out, have a collision, he might DNF or finish outside the points, and Willems might actually be able to get level with him if that did happen. But yeah, Merrick didn't have to overtake. Doesn't look like he's going to make another mistake now. He's got clean air in front and behind, so.
Would that be a commentator's curse from Alex Cochran here tonight? We'll have to see.
It'll be fine.
Well, yeah, we'll have to see as we go into the last few laps. But yeah, Jace keeping his head down now. And is that a lap car in front? It looks like it is.
Yeah. So. I'm not sure who it is. One of the Trout cars could be Fox. No, could be. Yeah, it's Imran Sheikh. So in P9, Merrick about to lap. Just let him through. Won't affect him. Hopefully. Gockman's kind of getting up to the pace. 112.3 there on his C4 tyres, so a little bit faster. But as you said, you were expecting 111s. Not able to do that, but he is going to have to run those tyres for a very long time. So maybe just keeping them fresh.
Yeah, it's still faster than the guy in front. He's got 10 seconds to bridge though, which without a mistake from Mason Owens here. But oh no, that was Spencer Owens, wasn't it? We made a mistake there. But I was trying to think there, but no. It's Mason Owens who's in front of Ali Gockman here. As Ali does make a personal best first sector actually, so we'll have to see what he does here as we come to the end of the second sector under the bridge. 23.2 looks like it's down actually. So whether it's down, it's still faster than Mason Owens anyway, but. To see what the time is as we come across the line, see what kind of gap he's bridged this lap. If it's the same as last lap, it'll actually be a 2-second gain as we head across the line, and it's going to be
another 2-second gain.
Yeah, a 12.3, so that's nearly 2 seconds he's gained that lap. So keeps his pace up, he'll be on for it.
Yeah, the gap looks a lot, 9 seconds, but 6 laps remaining. If he keeps up 2 seconds a lap, that would put him 12 seconds. Catching it up to him, so he would be in front if you don't acknowledge the fact that he actually would have to overtake Owens, and that's not always the easiest thing.
Yeah, no, and especially if you're fighting for a position like P2 in a race as prestigious as this. So he'll definitely want to be making moves pretty quickly, I'd imagine, is Ali Gockman. But with a pace advantage like 2 seconds, I'd imagine that'll make things pretty easy for him.
But
could be eating my own words, though. We'll have to see.
Yeah, you never know. One mistake and that would just bring that gap up a little bit, and he would not be able to catch at the end. It is 7.5 seconds roughly as he gets onto the back straight. Will probably be a little closer even by the line, because he will just be able to carry that little bit extra speed with those much softer and fresher tyres. Yeah, so 14.1. Oh, it was a wobble there through the last corner. Took a little too much curve.
I was about to say I'm not quite sure about the fresher comment, because then again, C4 tyres, and he's had these on for, you know, a fair few laps now, so yeah, we'll have to see. As he's had a little bit of a wobble, could be an indication of degradation at this point, but Ali will keep on pushing, I'm sure. Anything for that P2 position, and again, just over 1.5 seconds quicker that last lap, and just needs to keep doing that, keep hacking away at the same lap time, make it consistent and no mistakes. That's all he needs to do.
Yeah, definitely. Just Merrick in P4 there, just set fastest lap, 1:11.7. Semria previous set the fastest lap. He's on warm tyres now, so probably won't be able to touch that. Thought Merrick might have backed off a little bit just to, preserve that 4th place in front of Willems, but clearly showing no signs, setting fastest lap of the race. Extra point, why not?
Yeah, it's strange he's done shown that sort of pace now and not earlier really. He had a 17-second gap, and would nearly be. Well, he's got Ali Gottman in front of him, obviously, but that could nearly be a second a lap quicker. So that would have been quite close, I reckon, if he'd set that pace from the get-go with those tyres.
Owens was a little bit faster that time round, did a 1:13.6, Gottman 1:12.6, so only catching a second that lap. 4 laps remaining, won't be able to close that gap if this is the current pace.
Yeah, I think Owens just sort of looked at his real time there and realised that Gottman's on a charge.
Oh, huge crash for Woodward there. Ooh. On a corner, I wouldn't expect to see a car off. Gottman just able to avoid that, but yeah, Woodward in a...
Yeah, that's a bit of a strange one, unless he's had a little bit of a touch of the wall, and yeah, that's a strange one actually.
Yeah, that did not expect to see a car going off that late down the after the exit. I suppose if he's wobbled on the exit, counter-steered one way, counter-steered the other, it's gonna throw the car down the straight a little bit. But yeah, I was a bit worried that Gottman would be collected in that then, but has managed to get past without any... I don't think he even lost any time, managed to just sneak past on the inside. So
yeah, shake behind 12 seconds, so he's got a fair bit of a gap there to allow for any mistakes really. Maybe not so much anymore though. He needs to keep that car on the track now until the end. As Ali Gockman
second
chipping
faster
away
that lap
again.
I think he will be close
seconds.
enough.
Yeah, looking a bit too far away from here.
Woodward pits, so clearly, even though he had the gap to Imran behind, decided that the damage is clearly enough for him to want to pit, and maybe just to get to the end, should come out in front of Hepner. Will still have a point, but...
Yeah, that's a interesting call from Woodward, as it didn't look suspension-wise. I personally don't think I would have pitted. I would have stayed out and just sort of took the losses really with the time, but I imagine he would have still finished ahead of Imran. But yeah, that's an interesting one from Woodward.
You never know,
unless
though.
You can find
if he
a few seconds on those new tyres, yeah.
If he lost the rear through one of the corners, that might have been both positions gone, so maybe just a safety pit stop.
Safety pit stop, yeah. Ali Gottman on a personal best middle sector, and he's now only 3.7 behind, but with 3 laps remaining, he's going to need a little bit more pace, I'd imagine.
1.4 seconds he caught to Owens that time, still getting closer, 3.6 seconds, but only 3 laps remaining. I don't think he's going to be able to do it. Might be right on his gearbox at the end of the race, but unless Owens has maybe a DRS penalty or something we're not aware of, yeah, that'll be, hopefully, well, I'm impartial, I don't mind, but for Owens' sake, hopefully P2.
Yeah, we'll have to see. That was a big Oh, it's a personal best first sector.
Semaria
Semaria
puts.
going for fastest lap.
Yeah,
Could
definitely.
be.
Lap
He
44.
definitely- Yeah.
He's got
Yeah, Samaria wanting those bragging rights off of Jace Merrick there, and he's going to strap on some C4s, I'd imagine. Yeah, there we go.
it had a
He now heads out of
36-second gap behind, so very, very safe pit stop. No chance of losing the position there. Get clean air on the track, set fastest lap, get that extra point, take it away from Merrick. Why not?
Qualifying 2, anyone? I think we're about to see something here from Samaria as he heads back onto the track. Low fuel, C4 tyres, brand new. He's going to be loving that towards the end of the race. Ali Gockman now only 1.7 behind Mason Owens. Mason Owens will be looking in his rearview mirror now, seeing that those eyes of the fish of the Formula Trot livery car behind him, and yeah, that'll be starting to play on his mind, I'd imagine.
Yeah, Gottman caught 2 seconds that lap. There's 1 lap remaining. I'm not sure if Owens made a mistake, but once he gets in the DRS range as well, he'll be able to close even faster. Yeah, 1.2 seconds. 2 laps to go.
Yeah. It couldn't even be any closer, could it, towards the end of this race? 2 laps to go, and they are just over a second behind. And it's going to be close, and it's going to come down to the person who doesn't make a mistake once again. C4s versus C2s, both very worn. And it's going to be whoever keeps it on the track. I'd imagine it's a good exit for Gockman here. Mason Owens hanging on there. Has he got DRS for Gockman? He has got DRS.
Doesn't have
has
DRS.
he? I don't think he has. It says 8 tenths, but he hasn't got DRS this time. Must have been a big enough gap before the straight, heading through the chicane. And he will have DRS here. Does Ali Gockman? It's our 6 tenths of a second as we head into turn 1.
He'll only have 1 chance to make the move, really. Probably. Oh, Owens drops it on the
Owens is
Pete.
around! The pressure's got Tim Owens on the final lap of the race, and that has let Ali Gockman through, and Owens is still in the wall.
It has to do a 3-point turn there. Merrick, 20 seconds gap as he loses the rear again.
Oh, he just needs to keep it on the track. Merrick could potentially get another position here if Owens does make another mistake. Oh, 22 seconds for Merrick,
I don't think so. Last lap. Oh, is he off again?
Oh, is he off again? He could
It's
be.
into the wall.
Merrick now suddenly in contention for a podium here in the least likely of scenarios. But Semaria, he's going to come across the chicane and head towards the finish line to take his maiden win in Formula Trout Challenger Split. And he's done it in
Merrick's
style.
passed. Merrick's passed. So Semaria taking P1, but Gockman in P2. Merrick gets past Owens after Owens ran in P2 for so long. Just a little mistake, error after error. After they spun out, maybe lost the tyres. That's allowed Merrick up to the podium.
Yeah, that's Merrick will be happy with that, I'd imagine. He'd coming away from the start of that race, you look to be down and out really with that collision with Case, but looking good there as Ali Gockman now crossing the line already, as Jace Merrick now crossing the last chicane, coming home to take a podium in the least likely of scenarios for him, crossing the line there and taking that podium. And Mason Owens will be not happy to say the least, I'd imagine, as he crosses the line with P4. And what could have been for Mason Owens here tonight?
We got Spencer Owens P5.
In P5 as he crosses the line as well. Supernal 4-5.
Wilhelm's
Case
P6.
Willems, P6, 3 positions behind his P2 championship rival. And Fox there crossing the line once again. So there we have it. That was your Canadian Grand Prix, Lioneers Canadian Grand Prix, round 11. And what a race that was.
Yeah, Semaria just ran away with that. Obviously, the race for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, kind of all over the place. I expected Owens to hold on there, and yeah, Gockman in P2, Merrick in P3.
Yeah, that was some big championship implications there actually, with Case getting that awesome start right from the get-go, getting himself up to P2, and then the collision between those two that really just set the rest of the race up, didn't it, really? So yeah, really, really good race by all, and some good racing actually out there, some really fair racing, so that was good to see.
Interestingly for Owens as well, I was going to say maybe Merrick will get a penalty for the incident with Wilhelms, but I doubt that would be more than maybe a 5-second penalty, and crucially, Owens finished more than 5 seconds behind Merrick, I believe. so would probably keep the position as well. Just see if we can get some drivers in for interview. We currently have Jason Merrick waiting for an interview, so that'll be an interesting conversation how his race went.
Yeah, for sure.
Hello, Jace. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I'm here.
Congratulations on P3. I gotta say, I did not expect P3 after the initial start, but yeah, it did end up not going too badly for you in the end.
Yeah, not bad, all things considered. First things first, though, I do want to apologize to Case for that incident. I did not expect him to break that early for the second chicane, and my brakes locked up in turn, so nothing I could do about that. Just couldn't react in time, yeah, that's my fault. So yeah.
Yeah, respect for admitting that. Obviously, it was not really the way that you wanted it to go. Obviously, you are both fighting for a P2 in the championship. You were trying to overtake him on track, and thankfully, well, maybe for your sake, you managed to get in front of him. And at the end of the race, yeah, P3 is quite a good result. Obviously, you did gain quite a significant number of points on Case there. I don't think you've secured P2 yet, but I'm sure you feel pretty confident that P2 is safe now. I think it's at least 20 points. So
yeah, I'm checking the driver standings right now. Before this, I had a 14-point gap to him, and he finished P6. Is that correct?
yes.
Okay, so that's 15 points minus. I want to see if I can find a sixth place here. So 6 points, so 9 points, so 23 points. So he'd have to win the next race in Brazil to secure it. I don't know if I'm actually gonna race in Brazil.
Oh, really?
Depending on some plans I've made with my friends.
Oh, fair enough. I mean, you've done significant number of a significant amount of work to almost secure the P2, so you can probably, unless Willems wins, but never rule that out.
Yeah, anything can happen. But yeah, not bad, all things considered.
Yeah, well, it was a great race, and yeah, congratulations on P3.
Yeah, and congrats to Assetto for the win.
Yeah, he did a great job. Just ran away with it up front. So.
Yeah. Alrighty.
Thanks.
All right, take it easy.
Now get Case Willems in, finished P6, but see, crucially the fight for second kind of slipped away from him. Case, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Hello.
Not the best race for you, unfortunately. Not really an error for you. Just another car hits you off, and then not really able to get those positions back at the end of the race to make it count for that battle for second with Jace.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm really disappointed. You know, I'm sure you guys must have seen that start. I was even surprised myself. That was the
yeah,
the best
definitely.
start I've ever had in any game, to be honest. So I was really happy with that. But then Ace, I think break late and then hit me, and then it all went downhill for me. I'm just a bit disappointed by that. But yeah, apart from that, I went early on the C1s. To see how far we could take them. We could take them to the end, but it was still quite risky. Unfortunately, didn't have enough pace at the end to catch Spencer Owens. Bag of mixed feelings, but I think I still had a pretty decent recovery drive to P6, I believe.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, unfortunately, Jace managed to finish on the podium, so the points gap to second is a little higher than it was. But I think, you look at the race yourself. As you said, you had that amazing start. We were talking about Fox on the C4 tires. Oh, he's going to have a great start, and then you just come up the inside in front of Merrick by turn 1, P2. So yeah, that was the perfect start. And then unfortunately, as you said, you had the contact with Merrick later on. So I really don't think you can. You can't really blame yourself, criticize your performance. You did everything you could, but unfortunately, it's just one of those things, I suppose.
Yeah, I will be. I don't like doing it, but I will be reporting him forward. So there might be things chasing here and there, but I'm looking forward to Brazil. I think it's a pretty cool track. I remember in season 8, I was also doing pretty good. I was fighting for P3 in the drivers' championship with Dmitry Kamishov. But unfortunately, I made a mistake and I spun, so unfortunately lost that battle. But I'm hoping to sort of redo that battle this time, but with Jace. So I'm looking more forward to that.
Well, unfortunately, but also maybe fortunately for you, we just heard from Jace that he might not be sure if he's going to be racing at Brazil. The points gap is 23 points to P2 for you, and if you won the race, you would secure P2. So there's a chance at quite a good championship result for you there.
Well, that would certainly be quite interesting. So
Yeah, maybe not the on track racing we'd like to see, but for your championship position, it's kind of ideal.
Yeah, honestly, I do still hope. I still wish to see him on the track. I think I do enjoy racing with him. It's just that sometimes you make these mistakes, but yeah, definitely for Master Split we have to iron these out, and maybe who knows, we'll see him on the Master Split. But yeah, I'm gonna crack it on for Brazil.
Yep. Well, anyway, congratulations on P6 after that recovery drive. Impressive stuff, and yeah, excited to see you on track at Brazil.
Yeah, thank you. Also, hi Jack, nice to see you.
Yeah, nice to see you, Case. Yeah, it was actually some good racing out there. I was in awe at the start you had there, so that was some really good racing there from you.
Yeah, if Oliver was here, I would have done much better.
Yeah, I'm sure he was definitely downstairs watching, cheering you on. So yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
good. Anyway, thanks for commentating, guys.
Yep, thank you. So that's it. Semaria takes the win at the Lioneers Challenger Split Canadian Grand Prix. Merrick in P3, and I can't remember who finished P2, which is why I've said it in the wrong order.
E2 was Ali Gottman.
It was Gottman in the
with
end,
the
yeah.
C4 tires.
I couldn't remember
Mason.
if it was Owens or Gottman.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was Alex Cochran. I was joined by Jack Smith, and stick around because Master Split will be